Hi everyone, it's Kimberly Collins here, the Educated Natural, coming to you today from the beautiful sunny state of Virginia, as you can see. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that I've been thinking about quite often and how I'm going to tie this together, with a movie I just recently watched with my husband. Now, I'm not sure how many of you out there that's watching this video have watched the movie Star Wars. Well, I'm a sort of medium, Star Wars fan. My husband is a huge Star Wars fan, by the way. And we were watching the movie, and you know how they have the Jedi in the movie, right? Well, watching them, use the Force throughout the movie made me wonder about leaders. Leaders in any business, leaders in any state. It could be a pastor, it could be a secretary, a leader. And it made me wonder how leaders embody the Force, like a Jedi. Now, let's be clear, just because you're a leader, that does not mean you're able to use the Force. Okay, let's go and say that. But as I watched the movie, I noticed that the Jedi had, the power to use the Force to do several different things. For instance, there was an incident where Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to get into the mind of one of the aliens in the movie. And he was able to take the Force and get inside of his mind and make him say and do whatever he chose. And it made me think about the leaders in my business. I've heard them speak, hundreds of times now. I've watched, things of them on YouTube and things of them in other settings. And it amazes me how when they speak, it reminds me of the Force that the Jedi use over, their people. When they say, stop now and do this, we stop and we do exactly what they say. We follow what our leaders tell us, because we want to be successful like our leaders. That's what leaders embody. They're able to take what they know and use it on the people that are, under them. They clear the road pretty much, like a bulldozer does. They clear out everything for us so that we can walk through, without as much hindrance as they had to go, because they've already cleared the road for us, basically. So as I was watching the movie, I noticed that the Jedi was able to, they recognized the Force that's within themselves, and they were also able to pick up on the forces of other people that were in their environment. And, that's a great thing for a leader to be able to do. You recognize your own force, but then you also are able to pick up on other people's forces as well. And, the stronger a Jedi is, the stronger their Force is, because they get to a point where they're able to control the Force. They're able to manipulate it, for their own benefits, per se. For instance, when I'm talking to people about my business, I may not even start the conversation off about my business. I may start the conversation off, they may be outside with their children and say, oh, that's a beautiful little girl. And that's how the conversation starts, and we build up to that. And then I'll go and I'll start asking them, what do you do during the day? And they'll tell me what they're doing, if they work, if they don't work, and we'll just start building a rapport from there. And over time, then I'll, kind of put my business in there, because, for me, it's all about rapport, building that trust in the relationship with someone before I just hit them, with business all the time, So that's what Jedis are able to do. They're able to take the Force and manipulate it to their benefit. Now, also, when in the movie, as the Jedis became stronger and it got to a point where Darth Vader came into the main portions of the film and everything, and I noticed that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader would go head to head in their battles. Both of them knew that they individually had the Force with them. And so what they both were doing was, it got to a point where Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force, abilities and Darth Vader's Force abilities began to just wreak havoc over, the entire environment. I mean, they just tore things up. I mean, spaceships, buildings, whatever you name it. They used it, and by the time their fight was over, it was just, everything was just completely dismantled. You know what I mean? So that showed me that sometimes as a leader, you can become so entrenched in your force and in your abilities that you can use that ability and that force to dismantle or build up the things around you. And that's where I am now. I'm trying to use my abilities to build up the things around me, you know, as a leader. That's one of those things you have to be able to do, because if not, if you use your force, your abilities negatively, you can wreak havoc versus helping the situation. And I've seen enough, you know, havoc all over the world. So now I think it's time for all the leaders around the world to come together and rebuild, you know, our nation, our businesses, ourselves. Personal development is a must. You know, rebuild yourself first, then go out and help those in the community. And that's what I want, you know, that's what I want people to do. That's what I want all leaders to do, is to look inside ourselves first and go from there, so we can, you know, fix the things that are around us, you know, from ourselves to our families to our communities, what have you. It's time for us to use the force and rebuild and do something positive. You know, choose, you know, the light force over the dark force, you know, good over evil. You know, that's what I want us to do. So that's what this video is about. And it's funny how that movie inspired me to talk about, you know, leaderships and how leaders should use their force in order to rebuild the things around us. But that's what my goal is, and I hope that's your goal as well. If you would like to, you know, be that leader that's ready to take your force and use it for the good of the world, I encourage you to link up with me and my team. You can find us at www.theeducatednatural.com. Go there, put in your email. I'll be waiting on it for you on the other side, and together we can continue to build and build until we get our nation, our community back on track. This has been Kimberly Collins, The Educated Natural. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. As always, enjoy your journey.